Realty. Coolest cat in town, Cat Fleetwood. Welcome to our third episode of Merlot and Mortgages. And today we are going to be talking about credit.
Yes.
So if you are someone who is thinking about purchasing a home or maybe purchasing a new home, doing an upgrade in the next 12 months, let's say, we're going to talk about the top 5 things that you need to be thinking about or working on with your credit to position yourself a little bit better to purchase a home. So Kat's going to start with us. I'm going to intervene with any questions as we go along, but she's going to review for us the top 5 from 5 to 1.
Yeah, I've become somewhat of a credit expert from my own past and having to dig myself out of holes, as well as just being somebody who helps people that they have been turned down by other people. And I'm like, well, there's got to be a way to fix that. So I've become quite good at it. So we'll go 5 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So number 5 is to reduce and manage your debt. So what that means is if you have credit cards, make sure they're all at 30% of the total credit allowed. So whatever credit you have, it's 500, make sure you're below 30% usage.
Okay.
Okay? And you don't want to be maxed out anyway because you're just paying tons of interest and that's stupid. So reduce and manage your debt. That doesn't mean go and close all your credit cards. Don't do that. Because credit history, part of it that's a huge, basis of how your credit is judged. So you don't want to wipe everything out and have no credit because that's not going to work either.
That's good advice because I had in the past thought about closing credit cards after I had paid them off or I just didn't use them anymore. But if it's there, you should keep it.
No, because
for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, you don't actually get the full credit for credit history in the pie of credit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Unless you've had a card for I think it's 20 or 25 years, which is silly. So I tell people all the time, if you have young children, put them as authorized users on your cards at a young age. Don't give them a card. I think I said this before. Don't give them a card, but start building their credit for them.
Yeah, because age of credit's important.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the biggest thing, but it does matter.
Okay.
Number 4 is use credit cards. Okay. That does not mean go out and apply for every card. That does not mean every letter that comes in your mail that says you're pre-approved, that one's for me. No. Select 2 to 3 useful cards, ones that either give cash back or maybe a Costco card if you shop there all the time. Things that make sense. And use them, but pay them off. The idea is to use credit cards to build credit. So that means utilizing the card, you can leave a small balance, but always pay on time and never max it out. And it's not, or use it for emergencies, but use them. Just, use one for gas and one for groceries once a month.
Yeah. Pay
them off. Easy. It shows you're using it, build your credit. Get credit for your rent is number 3. So
this is one that a lot of people don't know about. So I do want to talk about this one. Of course, how it helps you, but also what the steps are for them to.
Yeah, because I don't actually know how that works specifically because I bought my house 6 years ago and I haven't rented to it's only in the last 5 or so years that credit or your rent's been showing up on credit. So,
yeah.
So tell everybody how that works. How can you get your rent credit to show up?
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Oh, I thought you did know.
I know. That's why you're here. I know that you can't, but speaking more specifically about, the companies that do it and the cost associated with it.
Right.
What are the steps to go back and get credit for rent that you've been paying?
I think one of the things you can do is if you're at a complex or if you have a landlord, you can go to them and say, hey, can you report this? Or do you report blah, 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 and figure out that way. I mean, I guess that's something I need to figure out so I can tell you. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I thought you did.
So having the conversation with your apartment complex then.
Yeah.
And seeing if they offer that.
And a lot of them are already doing it, and if they aren't, you should say, hey.
Yeah. Because I would think that would be a huge benefit to their residents.
It is, because I see this sometimes too. Apartment complex collections. So when it's been reported and they don't pay their rent, it does show up as a collection. And as a mortgage lender, when I see you haven't paid your rent and their rent collections, that is a big warning sign.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to pay your rent, you're probably not going to pay your mortgage. That's what the investor's thinking. So
Yeah. And some people, rent is the biggest bill that they pay. So I
Mhm.
think that's a really important one that not a lot of people know about.
okay, always pay your bills on time. That's number 2, and it would be my number 1, but I found a new number 1. If you don't pay your bills on time and you have lates on your credit report, you will not get a mortgage. If there's just one and you have a good excuse, that's fine. And we're talking like within a 24-month period. Obviously, we don't want to see them at all, but we're definitely going to look and say, you have 5 missed payments or late payments on your Chase card. You're going to have to wait an entire year to show us that you've changed your behavior. Essentially, that's what the lender's thinking, you know. And so I know that the investor is looking for these things. So I have to say to you, I'm sorry, you know, we have to see something different, because it's a risk analysis. And when a lender's looking at a person, they're looking at their credit, their income, their work history, you know, how much money they have in the bank. They're looking at all, you know, everything that you do and scrutinizing it very closely, to weigh how risky of an investment you are.
Yeah.
So you want to look as shiny and perfect as you possibly can. So pay everything on time.
So as far as delinquent payments, you said 24 months is really what you're going to be weighing pretty heavily.
12 to 24, and there are
Okay.
other factors. It depends on what loan program and what your credit score is and stuff like that. But you can guarantee 12 pretty much, unless you only have one. It was like, oh, I was in the hospital, broke my leg, and I forgot to pay it. Okay, that's, you know, okay. But when we see a bunch of them, it starts to look like a pattern. Then we have to dig into more about your personal life. Like, we have to ask questions that may be uncomfortable to answer, and we don't have a choice because we're trying to find out how we can help you.
Yeah. But that's good to know about the 24 months, because, I mean, you know, some of us went to college and maybe weren't so responsible with our credit, but maybe that was, you know, 10, 15 years ago. So I think that credit repair is real. And I think that what you're looking at, especially say in the 12 to 24 months when it comes to delinquency and things like that, that's really important to consider too, that you can fix your credit. And just because you made some mistakes in the past doesn't mean you can't get it to a good place.
Which, this brings me to subcategory A of my most important credit information. If you have collections and you're worried about talking to a lender because you know you have collections, and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to get all this stuff taken care of before I talk to the lender, don't touch them. Do not call. Do not pass go. Do not pay $200. Come to me so I can assess the collection and tell you if it should be paid, how it should be paid, and how it should be handled. Because certain collections, even if you just look at them, it's like the credit report knows and it goes. And some of them, if you pay them, your credit score goes up. And some of them, you pay them, it goes down. And some, you know, there's all kinds of variables. So you need to talk to somebody who knows what is going on before you start feeling like you're accomplishing something and then find out it didn't work the way you thought.
Right. Okay. And they're all different depending on what
and they
the
are all
extent
different.
of it is. And
they are, and don't go to debt consolidation and stuff like that. Talk to somebody first. Don't go to just don't.
Yeah.
Because you can do it yourself. You don't have to pay those people, and they will charge you hundreds of dollars and take their time when you could have done it yourself.
Okay. Okay. What's your number 1?
Give yourself regular credit checks. Credit Karma, Credit Karma, Credit Karma. It's free. You can monitor your credit. You can see what's going on. You can make payments and see how your score goes up. You can see what happens when you max out a card. Everything is there, and they also have great tools to help you if you don't have credit, to help you build it, like credit cards that you will be qualified for, personal loans, and different things like that. So that doesn't mean to go out and do it all, but I'm just saying, like, use the tool and use the information that I've given you, and you can always call me and talk to me about it, but use credit as a tool. And if your credit is bad, let me help you get it up. Don't be afraid to talk to me just because your credit stinks.
Yeah.
You know, because if you put it off, that's, you know, let's say it's going to take you a year to get everything straightened out, but you don't talk to me for a year. Well, that's 2 years you lost.
Yeah.
You know, and we could have had it done just because you were scared.
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
And I will say about Credit Karma, I've used it for a while just personally. It's pretty awesome. It's just a really good resource. It really is free. Like, it's legit free. And it's rewarding, I think, to, like, you know, be working on my credit and do something and then see the score go up. You know, it's really good to, like, see the impact of what you're doing to try and improve your credit. And Credit Karma is a great way to do that.
It's a fantastic tool.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And so, you know, not being scared to talk to a lender, you know, that's kind of the next step, is once you know what your next steps are, maybe where your deficiencies are, it's just having a conversation. So I don't know if you can just kind of speak on, like, as far as next steps, you do consultations, and, like, what does that look like if someone reaches out to you?
So if someone reaches out to me and they say, well, I'm not sure, you know, I don't think I'm ready, you have to find out sooner or later. And the only way that I can tell you if you're ready or not is if I look. So we have to run credit. And if your credit is bad, wouldn't it be better for me to look at it, run it, and help you get it up than for you to sit and have it fester and you worry and not do anything, essentially?
Or not know what to do.
Or do something and have it not be the most beneficial. So I would say, call me. Let's talk about it. Let's make a plan. I have a fantastic budget, which I think we posted on the first video, that helps you save money. And there are all different tools out there online and just people you know and me that can help you figure out what you need to do.
Yeah.
But the point is, you have to face it.
Yeah. Ignorance is not bliss.
You can't run away from it, because I ran away from it for a really long time. It took me a long time to get out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
yeah,
just put on your big girl pants.
Exactly. So knowledge is power. You know, finding out just where you stand, good or bad, that's definitely the first step. So we're going to leave all of Catt's contact information. We'll drop that tool as well about saving, because that's a really awesome tool that you can use also. And if you need anything at all, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Bye.